Yesterday was crazy. I have a really hard time like socializing before recording an episode because I'm like, what do I want to say on this? Because I want to share it and also tell you. So that makes me extra awkward when I like walk into a space because I'm like, I can't talk to you yet. So I wanted to tell you, yesterday I was at the jazz club working like fucking usual. And there was a party of 12 people sitting in like the back, like the second to back row.
Oh, yeah. Up on that tier. I know.
Yeah, but in front of that back tier. So they were a little bit below.
The middle.
Yeah. And 12 people. They're all part of a wedding party. Someone just got married in the group, and they're watching the Ingrid Jensen Quintet, which is apparently pretty fucking hard jazz and epic. The guy behind them stands up, projectile vomits on almost all of them.
Are you fucking serious? The entire wedding party?
Basically. Like, this one woman had to wash her fucking head off in the sink. And then the girl who was getting married didn't get barfed on.
Thank God the bride, I guess, is okay.
Yeah, the bride was okay. But, like, the whole rest of the party got thrown up on. The guy threw up in one of their purses. Ew. He just sprayed everywhere. It was all over the place. And I was actually having a pretty shitty day yesterday. I was just, like, kind of stressed.
Yeah.
And just like, ugh, I want to be out of
here.
here.
In your minds, yeah.
But then when that happened... my night
somehow that made it better.
My night got so much better. And I was like, oh my God. But you know what was the cool part? That when these people, they all got barfed on and they all got their tickets comped.
Yeah.
They were cool about it. Like, they were laughing. They're just like, wow, that was so disgusting. And they were all laughing. And I was like, how come that couldn't have happened to like some of the rich cunts that come in here? You know?
Like the people who are douchebags.
Yeah. Like,
who wouldn't have been able to laugh it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to see, like, it would have been so much better if someone who was like personally like rude to me at coat check.
Like, they deserved it. Like, you feel like the karma was not justly told out.
Yeah. Like, if they just, she's like, no, I don't want to check my fur coat. I'm going to wear it just to like fucking show it off. And if that got barfed on.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh God, that would have like just made my entire life.
Does that happen often where you feel that people come in and are just, you know, rude to you guys? And
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, people are rude. It's crazy. Like, you know, you'll be doing like, I always say I feel like I'm fucking doing jumping jacks sometimes just because like your heart is racing because you're doing so many things at once.
Yeah.
And then someone will come up to you and act like none of that matters and that they're so important. And they just look at you like, hello. And I said to this guy yesterday, I said, I'm doing so many things at once. You got to give me a second. And he looked at me like this. like I was a fucking idiot. Like he like was
clearly thought
gasping.
that you were stupid. He was just an asshole.
Yeah, he was like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right. So I guess you've never worked at like a fast-paced job before,
No.
You know? Everyone just thinks they're so fucking important.
Well, a lot of people, I think, who, you know, work in, you know, offices have no concept of what a fast-paced environment. Like people who haven't worked in retail or, you know, and when I say retail, I mean like on a Black Friday, because you have not worked retail unless you've worked retail on a Black Friday and had to be up all fucking night dealing with fucking maniacs, you know. And then the same thing goes for working in a restaurant or being a bartender, you know, any service industry sort of thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks just really haven't. You know, they'll go to college, they'll work at like a grocery store or, you know, their dad's company, or they'll just do internships. But most people, you know, a lot of people, I think I've noticed even our age, our generation, haven't had part-time jobs. And then they go to college and they get their little fucking, you know, office internships and they just don't have a concept.
You could tell. You could see the disconnect when someone comes into your like fast-paced service industry job and that they've never worked one of those before.
They have no idea.
Because people who have, they're cool, they tip, they're patient.
Yeah.
And people who haven't, you're just like, it's like they're on another fucking planet.
Like, you think you're the only person in this whole fucking restaurant right now? Like, sit down.
I just wish all of them would come to the jazz club and get thrown up on by that guy. I want to find out who that guy was.
You want to put that guy on payroll? Be like, hey, we're going to feed you oodles of vodka.
Yeah,
and
whatever you want.
You just hang out right here.
No.
We're going to sit you in different seats every night depending upon how the other people in the audience are.
You know what it would be? It would be jambalaya. We have that. And have you ever had Fernet, that alcohol?
No.
I threw up like the fucking exorcist when I ate that. I'm not kidding.
Nice reference.
So me and a comic I was dating, who was my boyfriend for like a year up in San Francisco, we got wasted at this place called Milk Bar, and the drummer from Primus, one of the Primus's drummers, was playing there, and it was fucking sick. It was
I was
sick.
about to say, that must have been an amazing show.
It was super sick, and we got wasted on Fernet. And Fernet is a alcohol made of like spices and like leaves and shit.
Like an herbal.
Yeah. And we got drunk on that, and literally in the middle of the night, all of a sudden I hear him going, and then I wake up and I'm like, Ryan, are you and it was like, and I had this djembe on the floor. I had like this like fucking hand drum on the floor, and I ran over and I grabbed it and I barfed into it.
Wait, into a what?
A djembe. It's like a solo bongo.
That sucks. Your poor djembe.
To that djembe seen better days.
Please tell me you threw it out after
I
that.
didn't.
That sucks, man.
I didn't.
I would have charged the bar, but like, so this was the cost of my djembe that your shitty liquor destroyed.
But it's good. It's like supposed to be like, oh, this is like good for you liquor. So I'm just saying, if I find that guy at Birdland, I'm gonna get him drunk on that.
Isn't that what they said about, Jägermeister as well, though? That it's
really
supposed to be a tonic. I mean, all things in moderation. That's like drinking a fucking bottle of NyQuil and cough syrup, basically, and thinking you're not gonna get messed up. I mean, that's why rap sucks these days.
They're doing Xanax now, right? They're not like doing scissorp. Is that what they used to do?
People still do scissorp.
Do they sip on scissorp?
Sipping on scissorp.
And now they're just
purple shit. Yeah.
Now they're just snorting Xanax.
Well, they make their own mixtures of like cough syrup and other shit, and they'll like, down some Xannies with that. Yeah.
We should party more.
I don't want to
I
party
don't party
anymore.
Actually, I mean either.
Oh, so that was the other thing. Oh, so I got rejected.
What happened?
I got rejected. So, I've been doing research because I don't really want to have an actual relationship because I'm at the point where, in my mind, New York is for hustlers. It's not for lovers. And I'm just trying to buy some apartments and be a landlord and start some businesses. And so, I get offers. I have gotten offers historically for a lot of money to have sugar daddy sort of relationship where it's like, you're not going to sleep with anybody but me. I'm going to sleep with my wife or whoever I want, but like, you're not going to sleep with anybody but me. So I know I can come and like safely have sex with you
and give you money
and give me money. Exactly. Like I had one guy offer me, who's a Chinese businessman. He offered me $65,000 for the year cash. Like he was going to pay me monthly.
If what?
No, I just to go on one date a week with him, whatever he wanted. Like, obviously, I would agree to whatever, physical stuff. But
I mean, yeah, like how bad could it be?
But like, take me to the opera or to go to dinner and then go back to his pied-à-terre in the city or to a hotel room. So I rejected that all historically. And then I was recently doing my budgeting and, realizing, okay, well, I'm trying to buy this house. This is my timeline and I'm not going to have that money for the down payment. This freaking sucks. Like, this is the reality of it.
You do have your 5-year plan.
I have my 5-year plan.
How many years do we have left until the 5-year plan is?
I'm like
a 1-year
year
plan?
Into my 5-year plan.
I'm
like a year into it, maybe 9 months at this point. This is all financially, like, I'm really not where I need to be on my timeline.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I should consider that. Like, I don't sleep around. I don't date really. I mean, I'll go out on dates, but we don't really have sex. Like, I'll be like, oh, you're a douchebag. We're not going to get anywhere.
Wait, so what did you tell the Chinese guy?
Well, that was last year.
So you were just like, no.
Yeah, I was like, that's flattering, but no, I'm good. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like, oh, maybe I should have taken that because dating sucks in New York. Like, I talked to this one guy and he seemed really nice. We were texting back and forth for 2 weeks and had agreed. Like, we'd agreed, all right, we're going to go dancing. We're going to go to this bar before it. Literally laid out the whole night. I texted him 2 days before just to confirm. I was like, hey, just, wanted to make sure we're good for, going out dancing and to XYZ Cafe. And he's like, oh, yeah, I should be around Saturday. What's your plan? And I'm like, what?
You're like, didn't we fucking make a plan?
Yeah, didn't we make a fucking plan? Like, what do you mean? What the fuck is my plan? I left that motherfucker on red. I am done. I didn't even respond. I'm like, fuck you. We talked about this. Don't waste my time. Because that's what it is. You're wasting my fucking time. I have other shit to do than to go hang out at a bar waiting for some fuck boy and his other fuck boys to show up.
So what is your plan of revenge and reclaiming your
I'm just
sexual power?
I'm only going to do this for money. Like, I don't sleep with anybody unless you're paying me $1,000 a night.
Have you done anything yet?
Yeah, and this one guy was really nice, actually. And he didn't pay me as much as I think I deserved, but at the same time, it was actually nice. Like, he was a gentleman. We had a really nice time. But either way, so I was looking, I got rejected. That's the whole thing comes back to me getting rejected, because I looked at it and realized, you know what, it's a lot easier on my end. It's a lot safer, because the thing is if I'm doing this myself, it's a great risk. Like, I could get raped. I could get robbed. Somebody could beat the shit out of me.
You're thinking of looking for a service?
An agency where they have clientele, where everything is pre-screened. It's discreet. They have background checks done. There's health checks done. My privacy is respected. I don't have a public profile. It's a private profile where you can only access if you log on. I did my research. I found ones that were, high end, that had these high standards. And there's 4 of them that I thought were reputable. So I submitted applications to. I already got rejected from one of them. I haven't heard from the other 3. And I got rejected. I was upset. I was like,
you're like, damn it. No.
I was like, I'm a former model. Like, I have multiple degrees. I speak multiple languages.
No, you're definitely hot enough to not get rejected. But that's why I've seen you take a selfie before. And I'm wondering, like, how bad was your selfie?
Yo, I sent them pictures, like,
you sent good pics?
I sent really nice pictures.
Okay.
But what it came down to, this is what I read, was that and this is where I came back from the partying thing of, like, I don't want to party anymore. I really don't. Like, I like to go to parties, but I'm never going to have more than 2 or 3 drinks.
Yeah, it's better being in control. Or else,
but it's not only that, but it's also, like, the damage that drinking does to my skin and to my health. And I like to go running. I like to be in shape. I like to feel healthy. I like to go hiking and do shit.
But I just think most importantly, if let's say you go out with these men in the future.
Yeah.
If you act like you're just drinking, but like classy, I guess.
Well, yeah,
and you
like
maintain
I can,
sober
that's the
level.
Way like, I'll drink a martini. Like, I want my, dirty I want my dirty martini with gin, straight up shaken.
Extra olives on the side.
I know, exactly. We've gone out, and
and you've been to the jazz club, and you had those horrible olives.
Those were the worst olives I've had in my life.
That's probably why that guy threw up everywhere.
You know what? Probably. Let's blame the olives. Jazz club, step your shit up.
They're so salty.
But so this is the thing. These agencies have very high standards, and I appreciate that. And their standard is, the ones that apparently I didn't meet. The reason I got rejected is because I have one tattoo. I have the tiniest little tattoo.
You're gonna make it into one though.
I sent them pictures, like the professional pictures, and guys, they don't ask for lingerie, they don't ask for swimsuit. They specifically want you to be classy. Yeah. Because these are agencies where you are, being paid to attend events with politicians.
You could totally do that. And like you're hot enough. I could never do that.
But am I classy enough? This is the thing. Yeah. Apparently because I have a tattoo. They rejected me, even though I sent them a picture. I said the dimensions. I had like a ruler, like next to my tattoo. Like, look, it's literally 2 inches. And it's very subtle. Like, people don't know I have it. I forget I have it.
Okay, well, moving past the tattoo, because like, dear God, you could put makeup on it and cover it up.
I know.
No problem.
I should have just lied.
But like, all I'm saying is that I think this is a really good idea. I think that you're hot enough. You're in control enough. You know how to hustle, and you stand up for yourself. Like, I feel like if I did this, I would be like, no, I guess it's okay if you don't pay me. Yeah, I know. Like, oh, weird. I just
I made that mistake with the first guy, and then I was like, you know what? Like,
you learned.
I learned. Yeah, it only has to happen once for you to be like, no, fuck you, pay me.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing. Is like, I thought that we're operating on trust, because I don't want to be with a bunch of dudes. Like, I want one dude. I want one guy. Maybe 2 that I see once, maybe twice a week. You pay me $800 to $1,500 per date, and you treat me like a human fucking being.
Yeah,
treat me like a lady. Dude, I might cuss, but you know what? I am a lady. I know I am.
Yeah,
and I present well. I think you speak well. I know I am. I know I am.
Look, there are rich men out there who probably have a lot of money to burn and probably feel powerful spending it on a hot young woman. So I would say if you're single, which you are, and you want to do this, I think it's a cool idea. I'm gonna vicariously live through you because I can't do that, but I think it's cool.
This is the thing though, is I am sentimental, but I can emotionally compartmentalize, and in my head also, like, I am not sleeping around. I don't really enjoy dating in New York. So why does it matter? Like, look, I know a lot of people will have a problem with this, and we have ethical issues with this. And I think that we as a country are prude, and we have this, social stigma of, oh, if a woman's taking money for it, whatever. I'm like, okay, but you're not going to judge your girlfriend who fucks 40 guys in a year. And let's be real. We all know that girl. I don't want to hear
Who
your
fucks
shit.
a lot.
Yeah. Like, I don't
For
want to hear that.
free.
Yeah, exactly. She fucks a lot for free. I've
Yeah.
slept with literally a handful of guys in my entire life, but I get paid to do it, and you're going to judge me?
Okay, I have a question though.
Like,
so let's,
what?
without all the explaining, and I know that you're defending yourself at the same time explaining why you want to do this, which is cool.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your first experience because I'm curious. But not during. Well, I guess not the first one, but the one that like
went well.
Went well.
Okay.
When you went home from that, when you left that, and it went well. How did you feel being by yourself after that happened? Were you emotional or were you like cool with yourself?
Oh, I was in a great mood. Are you kidding me?
Sweet.
I got done. We met at like 6:30. I was on my way home by 10:30.
Nice.
In addition to the money that he paid me cash, which he paid me, he had the money in an envelope for me when I walked in the door, which is how it should be, or PayPal for anybody who decides to try this. And also do your research and protect yourself. And I was in a great mood. I was like, look, like I had an orgasm. He fed me really well, gave me a massage. I got paid, and I put that money in the bank the next day on my lunch break during my corporate job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was in a great mood. He was nice to me. I think it's a matter of the mutual respect and understanding. We had, really good discussions, and not every experience is probably going to be like that. But like, this guy literally has a PhD. He's very intelligent. He's European. He's a very intelligent, like emotionally intelligent person. And we spent half of the night talking, you know, and just having very open discussions. And like, it was funny. Like, we were sharing shitty sex stories and then great sex stories and then travel and talking about psychology and literature and, So
this is somebody who could potentially be like a return client.
He is. Like, we've agreed. Like, this is a regular thing. I mean, he can't do every week because he travels for work sometimes, and likewise for me. But he's like, yeah, like, we'll consistently do this. And he's like, I'll confirm with you on like Monday and Tuesday when I know my schedule if, we can do it that week, or we'll do another week.
From somebody who just had a dry spell for like 2 years
I know.
to this is like a totally, would it be a 180? Because a 360 would just revolve back to itself.
I feel
it's
like
180.
I feel like that's I would say yes and no, like yes in the literal sense, but no in the sense that this is not emotional for me. Like, I don't care about these people. Yeah. And I know that they don't care about me. This is business. This is the reality. Like, this is a business partnership transaction. Like, do I have to act? Yes. Do I have to, play a part? Absolutely. Like, this is a service industry, but this is a business, and this is a partnership, and I deserve the respect that I would give him, and I'm not doing anything freaky, and I'm not letting him do anything to me that I wouldn't already do.
Yeah, he's not like
I'm not
dress
gonna
up,
do
put
anal.
on a diaper.
I'm not gonna do any freaky shit that I wouldn't have already done.
Okay, but what if he's like, Charlotte, I'll put $5,000 into your bank right now. I will literally PayPal you $5,000 right now. Like, you see him pull out the app. He's like, if you change my shitty diaper,
I would do that. But see, this is the thing, is to me, like, I just think that shit's hilarious because I'm like, that's what you're into, or whatever. Like, I grew up shoveling horse shit. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with chickens and horses and like.
You're like, whatever, I'll wipe this old man's
ass
like
for I don't care. Wait, 500?
No, $5,000.
Oh, okay. I was like, 500 is not enough.
Weird.
No, I need $5,000, please.
You can also, if he wants a friend to help, you could literally, I know I'm not single, but like, just hit me up. I'll be like, Neil, look, I'm getting $5,000 to wipe this dude's ass. Like, shut up. It's totally cool.
No, I wouldn't. We actually discussed that. Like, me and this guy, we were like, he said, he's like, have you ever had a three-way? Because we were just talking. He wasn't asking me to do it. He was like, we were talking about our experiences, and I was like, no, and honestly, I'm not into that. And he's like, yeah, I agree, because it's like, it's very difficult to ensure that all three people are going to be happy.
Yeah. Oh, is that your phone? Is that Vince?
Yeah, Vince is here.
Pick it up. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Man.
Well, hey, it's episode 10. Today we have comedian and fellow New Yorker Vince Chang coming on the podcast. him and I actually met like 3 years ago. I wonder if he remembers me. So I'm going to definitely lead with that and make him feel like he has memory loss.
Oh, yeah. He didn't remember me. We've known each other technically almost 3 years.
I don't think he's going to remember
And
me
he didn't
either.
remember me until I made a whole stink about him being like, so you don't remember, because we've only ever met when he was drunk.
Yeah. But okay, cool. So let's wrap this up.
Let's go grab him.
Let's go get him. All right. Here's Vince Chang. Stick around.
Last night who's in the industry says, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I got a radio show to go to. What's it about? I have no goddamn idea.
We don't know either. So I call it Adult Angst just because Charlotte and I guess
We're pretty angsty.
are angsty, but we end up talking about, I guess, like a lot of sex stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like right now we were talking about like escorting and I don't know, what else do we talk about? Staying sober.
Bad dates. Oh, really? Tell us your story.
Wait, you escort?
Okay.
All right,
Wait
here
a
we go.
minute. Wait. What is that? Now, welcome
have
to
a
the
theme.
game.
We have a
Okay.
theme.
Here we go. This is a podcast about being an escort.
So this is what it was a time that we are all in debt because this country likes to keep us down no matter what.
Yeah.
So me and my
Word.
friends were talking different ways to make some income. Now, if you see me, I'm usually in a vest and tie. I'm gonna tie now on a radio show because I think people are gonna be able to see me.
I mean, we might take a picture. You look good.
You always look nice. You do.
So I was like, all right, you know what? I should get into selling drugs, but I'm not that guy. I grew up in Long Island, have a little bit of Brooklyn in me. I'm not that hood, but I'm so inconspicuous. I could probably get away with it. Like, they look at me and go like, he does nothing wrong. He's a tax-paying citizen.
Yeah.
So then my boy was thinking you should strip, and I was going to strip. I actually got an offer to strip. My nickname was Bubbles. I used to drop it like it's hot, but my knees hurt, so I drop it like it's warm.
Yeah,
so it's a little
I do
different.
that.
And then one of my actually legit said you should escort. I'm like, what is that? He said, well, look, you can literally take out these high class women. They'll pay for everything. You just show them a good time. You don't even quote unquote have to sleep with them. As long as they have a good time, you're good. But they do want you to do your due. I said, all right, how much do I get? He said $1,400 a night. I said, sign me up now, which I already had my whole thing. And then we were going to get into it, but then I got a good job at the hospital I was talking about. And I started doing other stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think this road is for me. But escorting, when I actually know some escorts. And they say it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
You go out, you have a good time with these you're like on these rooftops and parties, and you take home the young lady or older lady. They give you half up front, they give you the rest when they're done, and that's it. It's simple, very inconspicuous, very silent, very hush hush. I luckily have a good circle of people that have learned this kind of world, and I thought about getting into it because you could do any fantasy you want, not only as a woman but as a guy too.
Yeah.
Because it's all you have to sign a lot of stuff. There's NDAs sometimes, so. It's fun. I would love to. Well, I don't love to. I would like to, do some more research on it. Because $1,400 a day.
Maybe even though you got a good job now, you could still do it just for like the life experience.
I would.
Just
but
once?
things are going way too well right now. I don't want to mess
I mean, would you do it just like for a short amount of time to make money? Like if you wanted to buy your own apartment, you need that down payment.
I wouldn't. See, that's the thing. And this is a legit thing I think people have to really come to mind is that money rules the world. It's not black, white, it's green. Green controls everything.
Yeah,
and if you
for
get
sure.
any kind of income like that and it's quote unquote safe, you can do it. Now, Amsterdam got it right because I've been to Amsterdam. Stripping, all that stuff is legal. There's a whole test they have to go through. You have to be like the best of the best whore. So, but if you do that in the United States, it may get out of control. However, if you do regulations, it's still money.
So would you do it, or why did you decide not to do it?
Well, got the
Why wouldn't you do it?
Why wouldn't I? Because then also what I'm doing with my brand and who I am, that's not who Vince Chang is.
Yeah.
I talk about it. I'm a knowledgeable guy. My mother's always said, if you're going to say anything in a conversation, make sure there's legitimacy into it. But I didn't do it because I'm like, I'm also a recognizable person. You said 3 years ago, you recognized me, Vince Chang, my face, probably my hair is a little different.
Yeah.
People going to know. And I
name.
don't want to be at a job, and this lady named Bertha said, hey, Mr. Chang, you remember last week? I'm like, oh, no, this is my job. Like, I never want that to happen.
So you're more worried about you not remembering them.
I would yes, maybe.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Actually, I paid you for sex 3 years ago.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, was it good?
It was okay.
Oh, damn.
But,
All right.
but I paid you a lot. Yeah.
Well, you didn't get return business, I guess. So.
No, I know. Man, I don't know. I've done so many ridiculous and unsafe things for free that I feel like I wish a part of me, I guess, I don't know, put more value on what I just give away. You know, that would be cool because I just give it away because it's socially acceptable to give it away.
Yeah, I think that the fact that we have this social stigma, I think, is women way more than men. And I think that this just applies to sex in general. Is like if a woman has sex with a certain volume of partners, and then also if she, charges for it, that there's some kind of connotation of like you're dirty or you're lesser than. Because I kind of made a hint to one of my closest friends just because I want to be able to talk about my experiences. And I only have a handful of people that I know I can comfortably do that with, where they won't judge me. And this friend of mine that, I've been close with my entire life, she's made this, women who like allow men to pay for things instead of being independent. I'm like, look, like I get that you're fiercely feminist, but you're also Republican. So what the fuck? Like, and that's why I just realized like, I'm just going to drop it. Like I'm going to let it be because I think we just have this weird view societally where we don't recognize that sex workers deserve respect and we deserve to be treated equally just like any sort of industry.
Wait a minute, are you a sex worker? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Secrets revealed.
You have another job there, ma'am?
Yeah, what are you doing, Charlotte? Yeah, so
why are you turning red there? The listeners can't see this.
So Charlotte is a woman of serious business with a 5-year plan that she is 1 year into already.
Really?
So time is going by.
And I'm just not able to save money the way I need, in addition to like all the money I spend on production and equipment and paying. Because like, look,
she funds all her own music stuff. Like no one else is funding
and she's
it.
very talented. I have actually listened to you sing on your Instagram. I stalked you just a little bit.
Yeah, I saw you liked a picture this morning from like a year ago.
Shut up. Like, shut up.
It was a cute picture.
It was.
It was me with a little kitten like sleeping up around my neck.
Yeah, oh my God.
That was the cutest kitten. That was a rescue kitten. I saved that kitten from out from under a shed and I got it at home. No, I got it at home.
It's still there?
No. I gave it to somebody. I found somebody to I rehome stray animals all the time.
Well, so I know Mr. Point. I always have this conversation because like you said, a man sleeps with 48 women. He's a player.
Yeah.
A woman sleeps with 3 guys.
She's a whore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. We got to stop that first of all. And I always have this conversation, especially like I talk to high school kids sometimes because they confine to me. I don't know why. But
you seem like a nice man.
People listen. I'm like that uncle. You do what he says. It's like you're not my dad, but you're my dad's brother, and I want to follow you anywhere. But I always ask this one question, and I ask you too. What is the main purpose of a human being on this earth?
To reproduce.
Boom. So right there, we are quote unquote a cancer to this world. Yeah. All we do is reproduce.
I've actually decided, like in my life, like I'm not gonna have children.
And that's cool.
You're just like a cancer gone rogue, though.
But yeah, well, no, but it's true. Like I've very consciously made the decision that I am not going to reproduce.
Yeah.
And I think I would be a great mother. I have great genes. Like, look at me.
Yeah, you do.
I'm very intelligent.
We would create an amazing baby.
You guys would make such
we would make really
babies.
Vince, we would make great babies.
God.
Like
Tiger
those
Woods
be
ain't got
beautiful.
nothing on us
yeah,
right
I
now.
know, honestly.
Like,
but
I'll film it.
I'll give my eggs to somebody else. I just don't want to fuck up my body carrying, and also I want to lower my impact. So like our baby needs to just be like one awesome child.
One awesome child.
No, you want to do that?
Wait a minute. I'm not saying this on air because you can use this in court. No,
I'm just saying, like, I'll give you one of my eggs and we'll like have somebody else carry
what,
it.
I'm gonna shoot it when it's in a petri dish or something? Or watch it just growing?
No, it's just like in vitro fertilization with somebody else's body.
With someone else's body.
Yeah,
That's expensive though, but
it is. But you're gonna be a famous comedian. I'm gonna be a famous music producer. We'll have the money.
I'll be a famous host. I'm gonna put that in the universe. Comedian's dope, but I know what I am. I found who I am.
You want to be a host?
I'm gonna be the next Steve Harvey with Ryan Seacrest money. I will host the Olympics.
I think that you should be
That's
just
cool.
the black Ryan Seacrest because you're way hotter than Steve Harvey.
Well, you're also like Asian, right? With the last name Chang.
Yes,
That's like a thing that's in there.
Yes.
Okay.
But the point of the saying is like,
yes.
when we fight the urge for sexual reproduction, we're going against nature. Period. I mean, you look at.
I just look at that as evolution, though.
No.
I don't look at that as going
evolution
against
is me
nature.
not having any of my wisdom teeth. I don't. I am more evolved.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was born with no wisdom teeth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally.
That's fascinating.
I am an evolved human being.
Good for you.
Ta-da!
Take it in.
Da-da-da.
Take it in.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I got 4 of them, and they had to be cracked.
You had all of
open.
them?
Yeah, that shit hurts.
There's a major nerve in your, it's a weird story, there's a major nerve in your jaw, and every tooth has prongs. Mine wrapped around this nerve,
I've heard
and they
about that.
said, look, we shouldn't take your
Seriously?
teeth out, because if we mess up, you can be numb for the rest of your life.
So what'd they do?
Oh, they went in, because they were starting to hurt, and they cracked it while I was in my mouth, and to start taking it piece by piece.
No.
That's
by piece.
horrible.
That's
How
a
long was
nightmare.
that recovery?
Well, I had to do it twice. I couldn't get them all 4 at once. They wanted to do one side first, so I'd be like I had a stroke. But then it came back, and then the other side, and I was fine.
Jesus.
I had two major gapping holes just like in the back of my mouth.
Oh my
Food
God.
just kept
That's
getting stuck.
crazy.
Yeah, but back to sex.
Back to sex, which is what this podcast is
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I think if you're not reproducing, yay for you, good choice. But also, yeah, the only reason we're here is to just continue destroying the earth with more and more humans.
More and more humans. And the thing is
Yeah.
that I always had this conversation with my friends. You're going to find the one. Yeah, there's the one for you. However, when I was growing up, my parents and my uncles, all of them giving them advice like, don't get married too soon. Don't be, because there's plenty of fish in the sea. But when I was in the 80s, there was no sea. It was a pond or a lake. It was just your town.
Where were you at?
I was in Long Island, Baldwin,
Okay.
in Hicksville.
Uh-huh.
And there wasn't much of a selection. But now, with social media, Facebook, Instagram, Tinder, the world is now a sea.
But I
Yeah.
think that's also kind of ruined it in a sense.
It did.
It did.
Because now you can find the one in New York, but then find the one in San Francisco, one
Like,
in
I have-
Tokyo.
You kind of everywhere.
Yeah, I
Perfect-
found the one
And
in
there's
China.
so much you can actually tune.
Oh,
you can
found
shut
a
it all
girl in
down.
China that you love?
And I don't love her, but she seemed really dope. And if we were legally allowed to see each other every day without going through immigration and customs,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
I mean, I had a similar. So like, I had this pen pal that I met over MySpace. I wanted to learn German, and so I
Nice.
found the guy. No, but seriously, like I wanted to learn German, so I found this like some kids on MySpace when I was like 10 or 11 years old. I was like, oh look, like we have similar interests. Let's be pen pals. And he and I have been friends now, 15 plus years. And he and I always had this like on and off connection, and then we never pursued it. We've always just been friends, but we just like had that weird connection. Like there's something there. And then he started making a ton of money, and he's inheriting his dad's bank. His dad literally owns a bank in Germany. And he said, he's like, he like professed his love for me. He's like, I want to actually pursue this. He sent me a message saying like, like we literally spent 6 hours talking. And I told him like, you have to actually like do the actions to prove this. Cause he's done shitty things as a friend, whereas like, that was a douche move. Like, when somebody does something really nice and then you like do something douchey, and I'm like, how am I supposed to like?
It balances everything.
Yeah, it balances out. So we're cool, but I can't have a boyfriend like that. That's
I would
not-
just be like,
that's not a
dude, you
partner.
live in Germany. Like,
I don't mind it. Like I go there all the time.
How many times have you been to Germany?
My whole family's there, bro.
she's German.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
I
Europe-
still-
I'm-
You
I'm
did
dual
just
citizenship.
talk to him like he should expect.
I
to
know.
know
Yeah.
that.
Sorry.
You're like,
sorry.
I'm
All right.
fucking
So
German,
I'm
bro.
German. I have dual citizenship. My whole family lives there. Like I
Oh.
go back there once a year, typically for a couple weeks to spend time with my family.
I thought you were a
So-
mythical creature like a mermaid or a siren. Like I don't know.
I
Yeah.
am, obviously.
Aren't you just from that Disney movie? Like, who you
Somebody
are?
your legs?
Somebody cast me. I would totally play that character well. I know how to ride horses. I'm kind of a badass. I can do that. Let's do it all.
Yeah.
No, but so then he literally, we get off the phone call for 6 hours, and he sends me a text message at the end. He's like, soulmate as you are, I somehow have to figure out how I can spend the rest of my life with you.
Oh.
I thought it was beautiful.
I
I
think
was really
every-
into it.
go
But then,
away.
and then 2 weeks later, he fucking gets a call from his ex-girlfriend saying that she thinks she's pregnant with his baby, and now he like falls off the face of the earth. And I'm
Good,
like,
as he should.
But I don't believe in love anymore. Like that should have been like it.
Charlotte,
I mean,
shut the fuck
I,
up.
Look,
Exactly.
look, I believe in love. I just don't believe in
No,
love for me. Because
look.
why do I have all these things where like I have all this romantic shit happen to me, and then in the end, the dude never comes through. So
Okay.
what sign do I have? Like
Well,
my
he
serendipity
obviously
is
came
just
somewhere.
Not playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
But Charlotte, look, this guy lives in Germany. I know you go there all the time, but like, fuck it. You've known him for 10 years. It never went anywhere.
almost 20.
And he
actually.
just got somebody pregnant. Move on. You know.
But she's not actually pregnant. Like
Well, she
she
might
called
be.
him
You
up
don't-
like
you don't know
freaking
that.
out, and apparently she's not actually pregnant. And
Yeah.
he just was like went back to her. I'm like, bro, what the fuck happened to the whole
Can you imagine
soulmate
if some
thing?
weird German girl was like obsessing on like your American relationship with somebody right now? Like, don't do that to them.
No, you don't need to go. It's unnecessary
it's
stress
so
for
far.
no reason. Plus, were you guys sexting at all? Or just talking?
No, like, we're
So
just
you guys had a
friends.
true friendship, and then he fell in love, and then literally,
He
there's
fell in love with
nothing-
me and then never like.
Admitted it, and that's it. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah,
Back to that
exactly
thing.
what Vince is saying.
7.3 billion people
I guess
live
I'm
on
just
this earth.
too much of a pessimist. Where like I have all these guys like promise all these beautiful romantic things, and then when it comes right down to the actions of it, fucking bail. And I'm like, why are you here?
Here's the thing. I'm just trying to be. I'm being
Oh, we're gonna
very-
get into a motivational Chang talk,
Oh,
which,
this
by
is-
the way, like we need to talk about your motivational speech.
Okay,
Okay.
wait. What were you gonna say? What's the
Yeah.
thing?
Here's the point. You say you're a pessimist. If y'all see Charlotte right now, there's nothing on her that says pessimism at all. Like, you look like a ray of sunshine. You look like
I don't know, dude. But about the expression on her face.
No,
like,
it's still
telling me.
happy. Like, no offense. Like, yes, I can say maybe you may be like a joyful pessimist because you would do that in a joking way. The world's gonna end, but yo, it's gonna be fucking dope. Like, it's
Yeah, we're
That
gonna have
is
great
me.
weed. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Charlotte's got all the good gin.
like I would not say that. But it's just there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Again, I'm very positive.
You're a
I'm-
very positive
I'm
person, which is
overly
why I
optimistic.
always enjoy spending time with you because it's just good energy.
Yeah, I mean,
who am I?
who are you?
Who am I?
What are you about?
I'm about positivity. No, doing comedy for about I think 9 years now. Literally, it was an ex-girlfriend who looked at me and said, "You remind me of Nick Cannon," and I said, "Fuck, I think that's an insult for stand-up comedy." And she was like, "Yeah," but then I realized he's also sleeping with Mariah Carey, so something was going right. So from that, I literally went to an open mic, did it, and never stopped since. No, I lied. I actually stopped for 2 years. Bad experience.
Oh, really? What was your bad experience?
Bad experience in the sense of I was going down the route more of like acting and modeling, not so much stand-up comedy. And I got run with a group of people and a guy, and in a situation in which it could have became very traumatic, you know. Yeah, like I was almost raped and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
So I was like,
Oh my
you
God,
know what?
really?
From doing
Yeah.
the whole modeling acting thing?
Because you know, you get these guys.
Yeah.
And I know guys have told me stories about this. You know, you go to an audition room, and it's probably changed a lot since the hashtag Me Too movement, and of course, people standing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm gonna let you guys know that hashtag Me Too movement is not just with women. It
No,
goes to
it's-
guys. The
yeah.
LGBT community has that happen all the time. You go in an audition room. He's told me stories with one of my model friends, and there's like 6 guys, and they go strip down to your boxers. Okay, that's standard. They examine you, and I had this done before. They strip you down, and they like really like you're a specimen, and then somebody in the web will say, "You 2 guys come with me," and you go in the back, and then they come back, and then all of a sudden you see these 2 guys on billboards. Now they could have got the gig just like that, or sometimes you do favors and you get ahead. It's known in the industry that people do that. I mean, we talked about. There's a lot of comedians that talked about it on the couch. I forgot there was like a podcast, not podcast, like a radio show that was something like that, and they like confessed or stuff. Anyway, the point is, I had a situation. Guy really wanted to do stuff. He started inviting me to a lot of famous parties and everything. And then at the time, my girl at the time said, "Be wary of him. He is gay." And I'm like, "No, he's not. He's just a good guy." And I was so naive. I grew up again in a bubble in Long Island. I didn't experience life until I got to Harlem and, oh shit, people are mean. And people
Totally.
yeah. So anyway, invited to a hotel, and it just got really awkward.
Was he like trying to like liquor you up and
Oh,
shit?
trust me. There's a lot of stuff. Like one day I told a full story to you guys, but it was basically came in and all man he said, "Hey, how you doing? Everything good?" And we've been to a couple of famous parties. Everything's great. And he said, "You want a drink?" Hell yeah, let's get liquored up. He already had 2 drinks poured, and I was like, The bitch in me was like, I want to see you pour the drink. I'm not doing this. No, let me see you pour it. Lesson number 1, learn that. So
yeah.
he actually, but the weird thing is that he did pour me another drink. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And we're supposed to go to some famous singer's birthday party. So I'm dressed nice. He's dressed. And so we start talking. He goes this whole thing of like, you have this amazing aura about yourself. You're going to make it. I know you're going to be famous. You have this thing about you. And I just want you to know I really care about you. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I was very platonic. I'm like, all right, this guy really wants me to be successful. And then he was like, you want to take a shower? And I was like, what? Why? I took a shower before I got here. But it was one of them hotels that literally it's the bed and the shower's right there. And it's clear.
Yeah.
So and I went, no. And then he was like, you're a comedian. I'm just joking with you. I was like, okay, cool. Funny, whatever. Not weird, but all right. So we start talking again. And then he says, you know what? I think we have a good time tonight. It's time to go out. But before we do that, you want to invite some girls up here? I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, sure. Let's invite
Maybe
some
he
girls.
was trying to like bring one of the red flags down.
Oh, yeah, probably.
you know?
No, he was definitely controlling. Because, again, I was like 19, 20.
Yeah. I was gonna ask.
I was
You
I
were
was
a
young.
baby.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
maybe just
You were
turned
naive,
21.
you
It was
didn't
from
know
19 to
shit.
21. Like, that's
Yeah.
fine.
It's like, want to take a shower, man? Do gay stuff? Okay, yeah. When
No,
I
I'm just joking, yeah.
want to call girls up, let's do girls.
Yeah, yeah.
So then
Yeah.
the girls came in. I said, okay, let's get 2 girls. He said, we just need 1. I'm like, I'm not sharing. No, I'm
God.
selfish. You should
Oh,
have
no.
1. I should have 1. So then he was just joking me. And then the last thing that kind of hit was like, you know what? Let's go. I said, yes, let's go.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
But before he said, you want to watch a movie? I'm like, what the? Dude, what do you mean movie? He said, no, you want to watch the game? Want to watch porn? Without hesitation, puts on porn. And I go, it's time for me to go.
Is this man like older, like way older?
Oh, way older than me.
Yeah.
But I'm also
Wait, like how old was he?
like 50?
I don't even know how old he is.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't even guesstimate. Like,
Oh, no, in the like 40s.
Yeah, it's
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so he puts on porn.
like twice
then
your age.
What do you do when he
Puts
puts on the porn?
and I literally go, it's time for me to go. So I'm not making this shit up. I run out, and then he grabs me. Now, I'm twice this guy's size. Grabs me, and I pretend to hit the bed. And then I fall and go, like I'm really hurt. Like I'm playing
faking
dead.
it, yeah,
yeah.
I'm faking it like a mother. I deserved an Oscar because he's really concerned.
Yeah,
now.
That's smart.
And he's like, are you okay? He starts rubbing me. I'm like, no, get off of me. And then in my mind, I'm not going to lie. This is when, and this is my personal opinion, and again, it's horrible. I hate rape. I will say this as a side note. I believe every rapist in the world, if you're convicted correctly, because, sometimes you women take it a little bit too far, should not die. They should go to prison, but take the money and let them have a sex change and put them in a male full 5-star prison.
Oh my God, that's intense.
That was like
I was about to be mad at you. I was like, excuse me, but I do not take it too
That-
far. And then you
no,
were
wait.
like, whoa, okay, that was fun.
that was a roller coaster.
Okay, I
was
You're
believe
like,
Roller
okay,
coaster.
wait. Sometimes women take it too far, but I think if someone rapes you, they should get a sex change, and then
we should have them be raped in
thrown
the
into
ass.
a full
Like, what?
max
Well,
prison.
but why the sex change though? Why not just like
Yeah.
let them get raped in the ass or something?
Yeah.
No.
You want them to have a vagina.
I
and
want
really
them to have a
go through it.
vagina, so it's not just one option the guys have. They have 3. Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes I honestly think that men really I know that this is controversial, but I think it'd be good for men to be fucked in the ass just so they understand what it's like to have something inside of them.
I don't know. I don't
Because
really feel like
you're
anyone
giving up
needs
a power
to know.
thing. Because you're giving up a power thing.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's-
I can tell you. This conversation is gonna get a little bit gory now.
Whatever.
But back to the thing. I do believe that any rapist,
Yeah,
should
be punished.
And I mean by too far is just that. And I mean this again. My personal opinion. Some women, and I've known, when things don't go their way, they can play the rape card. You raped me.
And that
just happened to a
it's
guy.
not okay.
It happened to me
That happened to you?
in
Oh,
college.
seriously?
And I learned 2 years ago why she did it.
Why?
Okay, so another side story. There's a lot of stories going on right now.
Wait. I think before we start that,
Yeah.
just to follow really quick. How did you get out of that guy's
Oh, yeah,
hotel
go,
room?
go,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because we need to know,
We'd
like,
like
what
to know.
happened.
I'm playing dead, and he's feeling really bad. And in my mind, this is exactly what I thought. And I said, oh shit, this is the moment in which you become famous. And I really thought that. I said, this is how people become famous. This
It
guy was
is.
telling me that he was this guy, he knew these people, and I was around a lot of famous people, like around a lot of famous people. And I said, this is what the people talk about. So what do I do? And in my mind, I thought as a woman. Because when women have any situations, and I've talked to rape victims and stuff like that, some of my friends have been raped, which I hate, you have a choice. You can fight back and get fucked up, and then they'll still get what they want, or you just give what they want, let them get off, and then you leave peacefully.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, but I'm a guy. I can fight back. But at the same time, crap, this could ruin my career forever. And from that, I escaped. I said, fuck, I gotta go. He said, are you sure? And I felt like crap. I went home, took a shower. I really started talking about this the last 2-3 years because it was
It's
4 years ago.
traumatizing.
It was traumatizing because one
Yeah.
homegirl of mine, she actually sat me down. I would act out. I'll be like really immature and stuff like that. She's like, what's wrong with you? And I said this story, and then she was like saying, you were like almost raped. So I think it's fucking with you around men and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's traumatic.
And I was like, yeah, and I broke down, and I started talking about it openly. But then also when I start hearing the hashtag Me Too movement and stuff like that, some stuff makes me a little angry. Especially, it's a very traumatic situation when you get raped, very traumatic. But I really, iffy when women say, oh, I don't remember anything. All right, your mind may cope by exiting that traumatic, but if you've been raped, I remember everything from that day. Like, I'm giving you guys like the spark notes of what happened that night.
Yeah.
I remember what he was wearing. I remember the drink that he was wearing.
You
I
remember
remember
what
what's
the
going
room
on.
smelled
I
like.
remember everything. I
Yeah.
can walk by. You don't forget that. So sometimes I go with him, I say, no, you know what is going on. Just like, you just don't want to say it. You don't want to relive it. Cool. But in that time, the whole point was that I've learned and I always have more empathy toward rape victims in the sense of, yeah, you're there. And people say, well, you should have fought back. Yeah, as a male, yeah, I can fight back. As a female, you're not strong as a man. And if he wants it, he'll get it. And there's a lot of things that's happened to me that, again, I can say, like, I tore my dick one time, which was really weird because the condom was too dry. And I said, holy shit, this happens to women all the time? Like, we tear you apart, and it's painful. That's why I have more empathy when a woman says, hey, it's dry. Okay, cool. New condom or lube. That's it. Condoms are bad when it comes to that.
That's why I never understand, like, ribbed condoms. I'm like, how's a ribbed condom for her pleasure? It's like a chainsaw.
Yeah, that's like
if it's
that's
dry,
a
if
fucking
it's
lie.
wet, no, it's like a brr, brr, brr,
Yeah.
like corduroy.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually never used a ribbed condom.
Oh, they're fun.
Ugh. I did like
But
once,
is
and
it
I was like, ow, what is this?
But is it fun for men or is it fun for women?
It's supposed to be fun for women.
It's for women. It's more for women. I mean, condoms.
Condoms just.
I mean, look, I don't.
mean,
like
you-
They
you-
suck.
they
No, you can
suck.
say
Like,
it. They
the sex,
suck.
The sex with the condom.
I can
is
tell you
not
a true
nearly
story
as
that
good
happened to
without,
me recently.
but-
That
Yeah, condoms suck.
I can prove how condoms suck. And
Yeah.
it was the safest night of my life, and I thought I caught an STD, which I did not. It was completely a tear inside my dick.
Hold up,
Ah,
why would you have
horrible.
sex with somebody that you thought has an STD?
No. I
tore
thought
his,
I
like,
had
urethra
STD,
or
but I was
something.
wearing a condom the whole time.
Oh, okay. So because you were injured, you thought
Yeah,
that
she was.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
She was wet the whole time. The condom in me was dry and also extremely too small. And ladies and gentlemen, I may be Chinese, but there's a certain brand I need to buy.
You're not Chinese where it counts.
Where it counts. I'm not saying I'm the Mandingo, but the thing is that I wore these other things and they were not fun. But the point, back to the story, I did get out.
He got
And
out
Yeah.
I quit comedy for 2 years.
after
because
that.
of it.
I
Yeah.
quit because I thought that was how you become famous, and I'm not doing that. Luckily, I met a guy named Vince Chang, very good comedian, a decent friend of mine, and he opened to me a whole new world of comedy, which I was at Greenwich Village Comedy Club a lot, and I met Ryan DeCalos, a lot of the comedians, and from there, I just had a whole bunch of comedians who were friends, not actors or models. So I wasn't around these people who are poaching you because you look good. I was around dudes that literally, I had comedians say, man, Vince, you look like you suck dick. Can I suck your dick? I'd be like, what? And he'd be like, nah, I'm just joking with you. Well, I would, but they're fucking with me.
Yeah.
They weren't serious, and they weren't trying to woo me and put pills in my drink and try to get me to hotels in which
It's
take me a
a
shower.
really weird environment because I have friends who are models and photographers, models who are signed to some of the top agencies, and we'll go out and I will be the only non-model there.
Yeah.
And I get treated so like I don't exist, and
Yeah.
and I just see the way that they talk to my friends, and I come up to my friends like, wow, like how dare they like talk to you like that? And it's like you go to these parties because you have to show face, but nobody's really happy there. Like nobody's like everybody. It feels like a predatory situation.
It is.
A lot of times.
And
It does.
Charlotte,
Well, I think like when you're, sorry to interrupt, but I think when you're a model or an actor, it's hard when you're coming up to probably feel like you know your brand or be in
Oh,
control.
yeah.
But when you're a comedian or a musician, you're like, I'm writing all my own stuff. I know
Yes.
what I'm doing. I think I know who I am. So you could probably go to a hang or a party and not feel like, all right, who's here? Who do I need to network? Like you're just
Yeah.
there with your
It's
fucking
true.
friends.
You're from LA.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I've seen the different worlds of comedy from New York to LA. New York, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm funny. I'm going to do my thing. This is it. LA is all about who you know, what you know. You got to be popular just to get in somewhere. And that's from my experience. If I'm wrong, correct me. Because I have amazing comedians that go with it. Like Matt Richards, huge fan of Matt Richards. And he says this on his album. I hate LA. And LA is so superficial when it comes to that. But yet, if you're a comedian, you should know your brand. As a model, which a lot of people wanted me to model, and I had a short time in my life, I said, I hate models. I think they're disgusting, filthy creatures. Only reason why what I experienced. Because some of them think they're God.
Yeah.
God bless you with looks.
No, but it's true. A lot of
They
them,
do.
a lot of them do, and I had some friends who like I thought, or at least people who I thought were my friends who were models, and I was like, oh wow, you literally have like no character or substance. But that I think it's when you have bad experiences, easy to generalize like that, because I also have friends who are models who I think are some of the nicest, kindest people.
Yes.
And they've had to just be really hard. Like they've had to have a thick skin. They've had to really toughen up.
Oh, no, it's a
And
cutthroat
that's
business.
and that's what New York does. And I think that the industry can really do that too. I think New York can do that too, though.
New York could do that. I mean, there's a song called "Always Wear Sunscreen." It's like a motivational speaking song, and it said, "Live in Northern California once, but leave before it makes you too soft. But live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you too hard."
Yeah.
And it's so true. And the thing is that, but again, a lot of models, good humanitarians, they know they're good looking, but yet they're very cautious of it.
Yeah.
That's great. But I know a lot. I remember one guy, I was at this runway show, was talking to a girl that was helping, like probably getting water and stuff. And it's like, you ain't nothing and shit like that. And I looked at him, I said, I'm going to
Wow,
break your jaw.
seriously?
But I was in college. I was real like rowdy. I was like an angry child. And I said, I'll break your jaw. Who you talking to? I'm talking to you. I'm not a model. I'm a basketball player, first of all. I'm here because a friend told me to. And I don't give a damn if your face is worth $500,000. I'm going to crack your jaw if you talk to her like that. Stop. God bless you with a face. That's great. But I'm twice your size, and I have no qualms and an absolute pleasure to fuck you up. Oh, my God. Why are you talking like that? Because you're being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just weird when someone knows that they're attractive, you know, by I guess today's like standards or just any standards, and then they like augment their personality towards how hot they think they are. When it's like none of that shit matters, because if you're hot,
they can help it though, because I think
course.
it's like a matter of you just become arrogant. I think it becomes a personality disorder.
Well,
like
I think
you become a narcissist.
5 fingers to the face. Well, shut the fuck up.
yeah. I mean, if everyone's just telling you all day, every day how
great you
good
are.
looking you are, I mean, it probably, if that happens since you're a kid, it might fuck with you.
Yeah.
I'm not just trying to sound like a dick, but I get that a lot.
All right.
Do you need us to bring you down right now?
Yeah, dude, just bring me
Yeah,
out. Just
you're
bring me
not.
down.
No,
Vince,
yeah,
I still
Vince
think you
isn't
need to
that
change
hot.
your hair.
Yeah, I keep
really
picturing you with like a buzzed head. I'm like, what
right?
would
I
that?
think he'd look so much
what
better
would
if you
that
just
hair
shave
look
his
like?
head
For a
or like
long
grow
time.
it out all the way.
I want to dread it up so bad.
I know
you
you want
should.
to. Like, I think you look great with an afro. Like, if you just grew your hair
all
out.
the way, but the
I
the
love
side
it.
short is like in style right now.
I don't think it looks. I think that a lot of things are inside. I think that's like the mullet. Like, I think
No,
we're gonna
dude.
look at the
He has
shit.
a
in
fro
This is a
hawk.
years.
full
It's a
mohawk.
fro
This is
hawk.
Not even fro. This is
I
true
mean,
one.
it
Yeah.
looks nice.
I
It's
got the
just-
same thing. Hold on, wait. Can you
Whatever.
see
very
it?
good. Yeah, I see it,
See?
and it's dope.
I
Yeah,
don't.
see,
I
that's
don't know,
filling it
man. I just think that the shaved on the side look isn't for everybody. I think your hair would look nicer if it
I'm
was
balding,
all grown out.
so that's why this is
Are you
going.
really?
Yeah, this is going to be shaved in the next 3
is it-
years.
is it
Like,
go-
it's going to be gone.
Is it
So
going
you
in the
just want to
front
get
a
dreads
little?
while you
It's
still
going
can
to
dread
front,
it
and I
up.
got this yarmulke. That's why I believe everybody's Jewish inside. And basically, guy was like, "Bam, let me do that. Oh, put a little hat there so you can cover it."
Yep.
And I got this haircut. I went to Bosley's and everything, and I said, "Dude, my hair is falling out." And they go, "Oh shit." Keep your hairstyle because no one can see it, and plus I'm 6'3", so no one can see on top of my head. Don't worry, this is going to be shaven very soon. When are you going back to LA?
Literally
on
next
Saturday.
week. Like,
To stay or just
Yeah,
to
I
visit?
moved back.
she's moving back. I know.
Like what you said earlier,
I'm
like
so
get out of New York
sad.
before it like
You've been too hard.
kills you. Yeah.
I've been here
Um,
4 years. Well,
yeah,
I've,
you
I've come. I've
bitch.
become a, yeah.
Your
I've
soul
gotten
is
a lot.
black.
No, honestly, I used to be such a nice girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a nice
Still
girl.
a
but
nice
I'm-
girl. I mean, I've never seen
I don't
nothing
feel
like-
like-
I've seen you
okay,
try
but
to. I've seen Charlotte try to donate to a homeless person here, and it pisses you off. She had all this halal with her, and she was like, this guy's sitting on the floor, and she's like, "Hey, sir, do you want the rest of my food?" And he like ignored her. She's like, "Fine, fuck you." I was like, "What the fuck,
Oh,
dude?" I'm like, "He's out
wow.
of. What do you?" I'm like, "Why are you so mad?" You're like, "Fuck this place. I fucking hate this place. There's
Because
people
I try
are
to
like."
do stuff all the time.
And I'm just like,
like I get extra. So I have a subscription box for vegetables, fruit and vegetables, so it's delivered to my house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's
She's
like cheap from
bougie.
local farm. Well, it's $20 every 2 weeks. It's fine.
yeah.
But
$20,
I,
that's $40 a month. You know how much chicken and
Yeah.
rice that is? That's a month worth of
I
chicken
don't,
and
but,
rice.
but this is all organic, and it's.
Bougie.
Yes.
It's cool. It
so
is
is
cool.
halal
I've
food.
seen
But
It's
I
her.
don't
all
have to. But
organic.
I live like I live 2 hours away from my job, so for me, it's like I don't want to have
Oh,
to carry.
shit.
I don't want to have to carry groceries.
Where you
So
live again?
Staten Island.
Goddamn.
Exactly.
She lives
so
on the island.
so it's easy for me. Like then I don't have to do any grocery shopping. Like that's it. I'm vegetarian. I'm healthy that way.
You're vegetarian?
Not entirely.
Well, I guess you're adapting to your New York lifestyle, but I've seen how angry you get
But
on the
like
streets.
I try to donate to people. Like I go volunteer at soup kitchens. I like volunteer at women's shelters. I do all this shit, and I just get frustrated when it's like I try to do nice things because I want to. Like it makes me happy to help people. I enjoy that. I want to help people.
And then when they
people
refuse
are
it,
just-
it
well, yeah,
makes
and
you
it's
mad.
just like, but it's not that I'm angry with that person. I'm angry with New York
Mm-hmm.
because it makes me angry when I try to give food to a homeless person and they accuse me of poisoning them because people do that.
Yes.
That happens to me all the time, and I'm
That's
just
never
like, all
happened to
right,
me.
well, fuck you. I'm sorry that you're
It's
gonna go
never happened to
hungry
me.
now.
Yeah, I've given. I remember one time it was my birthday and I got a pizza, like a pizza dessert thing as my cake, quote unquote.
Okay.
And I'm lactose intolerant. I couldn't eat it. My mom just forgot.
Oh.
So I'm on the train and
Your mother forgot
she-
that you're.
My mom
forgets
forgets all the time.
all the time. She's like,
man.
"You want mac and cheese?" I'm like, "Mom, you're trying to kill me." Like,
Same.
So
with indigestion.
Yeah.
so I said to myself, she said, "You were taking it home," and then she said, and she knows me very well. She's like, "You're gonna give to somebody, aren't you?" I'm like,
Yeah.
So I was waiting for like a homeless dude,
Like,
a
really
dude,
hungry.
like ashy knees, one arm, like a
Yeah.
homeless dude. And this white kid, no more than 24 years old, gets on the train and he's like, "Hey guys," da da da, and he's real nice. And I'm like, well, this is a sign. I can't.
Yeah.
So I give it to him. He said, what is this? I said, pizza. Well, this is perfect. And I said, look, you have it. It's my birthday. And he's like, oh my gosh, your birthday. I'm like, yes, have it. So he goes, and it was the nicest thing. He sits down, and I give him a thumbs up, and I sit down. He runs back. He opens it. Like, dude, this is a whole pie. I'm like, yeah, I know. Dude, you want some? I'm like, it's yours. But in my mind, I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, like I
did my good deed.
Go away.
Go away.
Yeah.
And enjoy. Like, give it to your little cult, whatever that you had back in the homeless. Wherever
Yeah,
But
other street kids.
and I understand New York does have that because don't forget how bad these homeless people are treated every day.
I know. And I've had really good moments too. Like there was this one boy I'll never forget actually. His name was Darren. And
is this a homeless guy that you made friends with?
He was sort of, not really. So he needed a swipe, right? And like I always do that. Like I always give people a swipe. And he just looked really, like, you know, when you look at somebody, he just looked like broken heart. And I was just like, sweetie, are you okay? And he just started crying. He's like, look, like, I just got out of jail. Like, I've been trying to, like, get back to, like, where my family lives in East New York, like, way out in the hood. And he was locked up out in Jersey, and they give you $20. Like, they give you $20 when you get out of jail. And so he had, like, no more money.
He couldn't just, like, buy a fucking subway pass?
Well, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he had to go from Jersey and, like, all this. And he's like, I paid for the bus, but then, like, I don't have enough money. And then, like, I was hungry, so I bought myself food. Like, he had $20. And honestly, $20.
What'd you give him?
I just gave him a swipe.
Oh, that's it.
I gave him a swipe.
I think.
And I, like, honestly, we sat there and talked. And
I think you could have had sex with him.
No, I gave him a hug.
No, fuck that, dude.
He cried, and I just gave him a hug, and like we talked on the train because we were taking the same train. I got off at my stop, and I was like, I hope you get home safe. And I was like, you have someplace to go? He's like, I mean, I hope my family still lives in the same apartment. Like, they didn't answer the phone, and I just thought it was the saddest thing. And he just needed to be treated like he was human.
I don't know, man. I just keep on walking when I see people. Are you guys watching like the Ted Bundy tapes at all?
No, that's gonna mess me up. I can't.
I'm not doing that.
Here's what I'm saying. I watch a lot of horrifying documentaries, and now I'm watching this. And being a young woman walking around New York City, and you see these people. Excuse me, can I get a swipe? Excuse me, do you have any money? No, dude, you got to blow past them because you don't know. There's this one. There's this one woman, and her husband were coming home from the bar in Baltimore. This is just last month. You know those ladies that hold signs that say like pregnant, have a kid, need some money?
Yeah.
So they go up to the car. The wife in the car goes to reach for her purse. The woman leans in, tries to snatch her purse, fucking shanks her at the same time.
Jesus.
That lady died. Just trying to give this stupid lady $1, you know, over $1.
I know, and
or a purse.
that's where you.
I just walk, man.
That's where I feel like I have this. Like, I'm trying to develop this sense of energy and like identifying people who are going to be, you know, and it's really hard. Like, it's never going to be foolproof, you know, but I've definitely had moments where I was like, I want to help this person, but I just have a terrible vibe. I'm just going to walk past and not make eye contact.
Yes, that happens, but I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
What?
America is so fucking spoiled.
We are. We really are.
What you said, horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Horrible. Old purse, do a nice thing, die.
Do a nice thing,
Why don't you go
die.
to Jamaica, where I'm from, where my family's from, right? Co-worker friend of mine went to Jamaica literally 3 weeks ago. Now, if you go to Jamaica, if you guys are all like on, you know, Montego Bay and all the sand, like have nice resorts, stay in a resort. Do not go to real Jamaica, okay?
Yeah.
Kingston, Spanish Town is a real Jamaica. And when I say this, right? Friend went to Jamaica, forgot to take off her jewelry. She had an engagement ring.
Shit.
It was like $1,500. And I was not that expensive, but whatever.
But in Jamaica.
In Jamaica,
expensive.
she's at the bus stop. The thief didn't even try to take it off, whatever. Got a knife, cut off her finger, and ran. And this happened at a bus stop.
Serious?
At a bus stop.
In broad daylight.
No one does. Like my grandma, she's about 76, 78. She would say she would be on a bus and people try to rob someone and people will walk past the robbery of going on. Guy has a knife, give me your stuff, people just walk past. But that's a third world country kind of. Here in America, when this stuff happens, and it to me, it astounds me. They go, oh my God, it's so horrible. I'm like, you don't understand how bad the rest of the world is.
Scary.
We are spoiled. I just want to say this on this podcast. We are spoiled. We have a lot. We can get halal whenever.
Do you think that
we can get whatever we want all the time, anytime.
We can get sex whenever you want. Right now, it's what? what, 12 o'clock? We can go to a strip club and get brunch.
Right now.
Okay?
I mean,
We
you
can get
probably
a-
shouldn't. You probably
I
shouldn't
haven't
eat
been
at the
to a
strip club.
in New York though. Actually, like
I'm scared to, but I heard it's really good.
we should go. Let's go to a strip club sometime.
I personally hate strip clubs, and this is gonna
No,
sound
no,
weird,
I
but-
do too. They're always depressing, but I find them.
Are they
I
depressing?
think
They're
no, but I
fun.
think that no. I mean, they're fun, but I always also leave feeling dirty and depressed.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I
no,
don't
but
like
look, but
paying for
I
something
think
for
it's like an anthropological thing for me. For me,
You get
I
lap
find it
dances for free?
fascinating. Yeah,
Yeah, like I tell my friends all the time, like, look,
pretty
all you-
people get free lap dances.
It's not pretty people. Any person.
Oh my
can get a
God.
lap dance. All you gotta do is
For
be
free
nice to
though,
a girl
it's true.
and
for
just
free.
say, don't be creepy, and
Because
say,
people
hey.
are terrible to them. They're really terrible.
No, they're terrible to the strippers. But
They're
if I had to
really-
go, like, if me and you were like casually talking, me and
Yeah.
you, Charlie, right? And I'll say, hey, why don't you come over? I'm gonna take out $5 and I'm gonna throw it up in the air, and
And
you can dance on me, and I'm gonna recycle this shit, and boom, I'm in a strip club.
Oh
Okay.
no. Yeah, but they could be fun. Like this one time, I went to a strip club in Van Nuys, which is like above. It's in LA, but it's
Oh.
like in the creepy part of LA. One of the creepy parts.
Oh, they're
seedy
non-creepy
part.
parts of LA.
This is the creepier part, and it's a non-nude, 18+ strip club.
Oh my god.
But the
okay.
strippers, they'll flash you to get extra money.
Oh.
So this one stripper, and this is why I think strip clubs are funny. This one stripper scooches her thong over, rolls up $1 like a cigarette, pops it in her butthole.
Ew, in her butthole. Not
Yeah,
even her
and then she
pussy?
starts bending over in front of all of us, and we're all drinking, and like, the dollar's just going. It's like
Oh my
It's
god.
like sucking in and out of her butt, and we were just like, ew. And then she comes over, and she gets my beer's right in front of me. She gets her mouth, she deep throats my beer, chucks back her head like it's hot, and then she's like, yeah. And me and my friends were like, ew, but also
What the
cheap
fuck?
entertainment. It was
It is,
fucking
hilarious.
hilarious.
That is hilarious.
It was
But-
so
Oh,
disgusting.
what'd you do with the dollar?
I don't know.
Did
I
she
guess I
spend
never
it?
said.
That shit. You know that dollar is in
She, like-
circulation.
Yeah,
still.
somewhere
So
has
she
this
goes to,
ass
like,
dollar.
give it back to you,
Some
dude.
finance bro is snorting coke with
I
that
want to
right
find
now.
this dollar and put it in a frame.
I get so many dollars
Oh,
at work that we have to like
gross.
shuffle through for tips, and like I constantly think like, who's touched this dollar? Whose
Look,
butthole?
The one
this
thing
dollar's
I've
been
ever
in.
did, like I put a lot of things in my mouth that
think
I'm not too
about-
proud of.
You put dollars in your
Oh.
mouth?
No, that's the
Oh.
one thing I
Yeah,
would
yeah, no,
never
no,
do.
no.
I
Never
would
put
eat
money in your
ass before
mouth.
putting a dollar in my mouth.
No, it's filthy, and that
Okay,
dollar's like
so-
circulating for decades.
Hold on. Side note. So you agree that eating ass is not fun, right? Because I don't understand
It's
why.
not fun.
Like, okay, I think it's
You
gross.
really want me to say
I think it's gross. I don't want. Why would? But that's like the thing. That's like the new thing that like young. It's pretty fun. You enjoy? Really?
I don't come near mine, but go
There's
take
also
a shower.
there's eating ass rules. You don't just like finish a workout and lick someone's butt.
Yeah.
Like if you and your partner are together and you're getting down.
That's something that after 4 years, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
we have to try something new.
Yeah,
Let's see. It tastes like copper. It's like putting a penny in your
Ew.
mouth. Come on.
Is that really?
it's like an
what
IPA.
I've done it one time in a long-term relationship, and it was by mistake because you know when you're in a 69 position, da da da. So I never forget this. 69 position, we're having a good time, blah blah blah, and I was fucked up, high.
You
drunk.
accidentally.
This is what happened. This is what happened. So we were 69, but I remember her adjusting the night before, blah blah. She woke up the next morning with that look of, "What did you do?" And I was like, "What happened?" She says nothing. It's just like Kevin Hart's spit. 3 weeks later, we get in an argument, and we're going back and forth. She's like, "No, you ain't." It's like, "At least I don't eat ass." I'm like, "I don't eat no ass." She's like, "Remember that night?" I'm like, "What night?" And what happened when she was 69, we were 69, and then she adjusted, and I just went into the asshole thinking it was a pussy.
Nice, yeah.
And I went to town.
Oh,
like, I was
nice.
in there. I was like, I am getting out this hole. I'm trying to save my life.
Digging yourself
It's
out.
basically they dumped me in the freaking middle of the ocean, and this was my scuba gear. I am making sure I'm getting air.
Yeah.
And she
Oh,
said,
shit.
"You did that for a full night." And I said, "That's the fuck. That's why it tasted so weird. Why don't you stop me?"
Yeah,
she was like,
she let you.
She was like, "Didn't feel that bad." I'm like, "Then you got nasty as well." But yeah, so it's not that bad, but it's possible.
I have a really kind of traumatizing eating ass story.
Jesus.
Well, you ate ass before?
No, but it's traumatizing.
From a guy, I would no.
No,
We
no.
don't take care of that.
No, I haven't. Oh wait, have I? No, I mean,
You may
I feel like
accidentally.
as women, we're so paranoid
Yeah.
that, like, because you're gonna be down there, that like, oh, I'm gonna make sure to clean my asshole as well as my pussy because I don't want
So-
You guys do
anybody
keep
to.
it nice clean.
so I went on a Tinder date with this really hot guy. It was kind of like a blind Tinder date because I just knew he was like a good photographer and we talked a lot. And I was like, yeah,
Oh
let
yeah,
me
you're gonna
meet you at a
make
bar.
a business connection.
He was looking. I know, but I was like,
Mm.
he's a cool photographer. We talk a lot. Let's meet up. We met up. He's hot. We're like, okay, let's go back to my place and hook up. Anyway, we're hooking up. He just goes for it. He doesn't even ask.
What?
Oh, whoa.
And,
Really?
You don't just go for it.
He went for it.
No.
There's certain rules.
I
You got to
know.
go through a toll. You got to go through a gremlin. You have to say a
Yeah.
password.
You gotta
and
sign
go
off.
No, he just went for it.
Paperwork.
And there's part of me that was like, should I stop this? Should I let it
But
happen?
did you?
No, I let it happen.
Oh,
I was like,
God,
whatever.
Allie.
Did he kiss you after?
Probably.
Oh,
Oh,
you
nasty.
nasty. Give me a high five. You
Girl.
nasty. Yeah. That's what
So,
you do, baby.
so after the date, he goes home. He's like, yeah, maybe we should meet up again. Let's talk, whatever. And then he ghosted the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of
So
course
then
he did.
that left me wondering, like literally, not even from like a joking standpoint, but like, was something bad? Like, was it gross?
Really?
I mean, I walked to the bar.
Did
like,
you take a shower before?
No.
you went out? So, yeah.
No, I worked all day. I walked to the
Oh,
bar. I met him at a
gross.
bar.
Did
I
you use
had
the
some
bathroom that
wine.
day?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, I don't
Probably.
even like to
I have a very
sex unless
active
a shower
stomach.
first.
I have IBS. Like, I'm
You
sure
have
things went.
IBS too?
Yeah.
Oh
Shit, I'm
my
lactose
God.
intolerant. I have an issue
too.
of butt issues. Like, I don't do butt
But do you
stuff.
like- oh, you don't do butt
But
stuff?
he went for it, and I was like, let me try this. And he's already down there. What can I do? He's already down there for like 30 seconds. It's too late now.
I
But
would've
one
said no,
second,
there's-
Allie.
there's
If
no-
you could do butt stuff,
Would
would you do
you?
butt stuff?
No. I've been propositioned many times.
for butt stuff.
Yeah.
Butt
I've
stuff
had
is
a lot of people
fun.
want to do butt stuff with me, and I'm always
No.
like, nah.
That's why I got God either has a cruel sense of humor or he's gay. Because the G spot in a woman, right there, vagina, hook it up right there. G spot in a man, prostate. Why would God put that there? Because scientifically,
Yeah.
it's the hardest cum a man can have
Oh,
if you milk the prostate.
well, I've done butt stuff to guys, but
Oh,
I don't
I have
let
not had
guys do
that
butt stuff
ever.
to me.
I just, it's funny to me because we had a conversation again. This is a sex podcast.
Yeah,
They're
it
"Would
is."
you get-"
At this point.
'Cause we just went everywhere. We got
Really?
emotional, sex.
You were talking about rape?
All of it.
This is a Willy Wonka chocolate factory elevator. That's exactly what this is, okay? So with that, they always say, like, would you ever get your prostate weight? And I always remember the movie Road Trip. The guy that he was, what's the guy's from American Pie? Schindler?
I love that guy.
what's
He's
his
so
name?
funny.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
yeah. I love how
Stifler.
I love how
There you go.
he's Schindler.
Schindler.
Like,
Schindler's mom.
But Stifler, he had
Stifler.
they were going to donate sperm, and he's trying to get with the nurse, like, I need a little bit of help. And she's like, okay, I'll help you, and milked the fuck out of his prostate. And then he said it was a funny thing, but then I did research on it. I don't know why, and I was like, really?
oh, you don't know why?
It's a real thing.
Well, because
You know why.
there's a comedian that has
You
a
know
great
why.
bit about it, and he literally says that I had never had that, but I was married for 8 years. And my wife did it to me one time, and I had to call the neighbors because I think I shot them in the head. Like, that shit was so hard, it went right through the wall. And I was like, why would God put it there? Why? But then it makes you curious, like, is it gay if a woman does it? Or is it gay in general if anyone goes near your
I
butt?
mean,
No,
I
it's not
imagine
gay.
that it's. I mean, I've never done that because I guess I'm a prude. But I'm like, to me, that's an exit and that's unsanitary, and I don't want to touch that. But
Hey,
if I love somebody and I wanted them
make
to
them
have a
happy,
really
just
nice
say,
time, yeah, I would
The
do
only
that.
thing that
Rocker.
makes something gay,
Nice Dane-
the only
Dane
thing that makes
whatever
something
reference,
gay
yeah.
that includes your asshole is literally if a guy is touching your asshole.
yeah. I do
If a
believe
girl's touching your asshole, it's not gay. You're just a freak.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
well,
fine.
no, I don't think he's a freak. It's just like I want to
No,
have a really
freaky.
hardcore orgasm. And look, like
Yeah.
if I want to have a hardcore orgasm, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, how to do it at the right speed.
Well, okay, Vince, I'm wondering. So, how's your set? Are you like a clean comic, or do you talk about sex stuff?
It's weird. It's a mixture. I could do clean because
Yeah.
most of the time I talk about myself.
So
Yeah.
I saw your set before I met you. This was like two and a half years
Oh,
ago.
it has changed completely.
Oh, I know, but I remember
Yeah, I
thinking
hate
like
that
because
judging off of old.
No, but it's but I mean
No.
it was funny because it's
Thank
like my impression was like, oh, okay, so he's just a player, like he's a flirt.
I am
You
I'm
are.
a flirt.
You
I've
are.
learned to tone it down because now I know how to recognize it.
So are you playing anywhere in February? Do you have anything lined up?
Yes, I got some. I'll be at Broadway Comedy Club Friday and Saturdays. I perform on the Fridays.
On Fridays and Saturdays?
Yep. At the 9 p.m. show on Friday
Cool.
and at the 7:45 show on Saturday.
Okay.
I host that. There's more shows coming through. You can follow me, Vince Chang 21 on Instagram. I am also traveling. I will be in California, I think, in a couple weeks, maybe in Indianapolis. But all that stuff will be on my Instagram. I'll let you
Cool.
guys know.
Well, maybe I'll see you in California.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I'll be
Hell yeah.
around.
And you can walk me to the
I'll walk you to the
tram or whatever you guys
Uber.
have there.
to your Uber. Yeah, yeah. Don't take the public transit in LA. You'll regret it. It's actually kind of scarier than New York. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast
Yeah,
today.
thank you.
Deli-
And I know it was very loose, but I hope that you learned something about us, that you learned something about yourself. Until next time, this is Adult Angst.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for waiting.